right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Natty News Daily podcast. This is James, and I am joined by one of our other co-hosts this week, Dan. Dan's jumping on as we bring back none other than Aaron Orton, probably, I'm going to say, the best promoter out of the Pacific Northwest in the U.S. Definitely one of the most longest standing shows that we'll be talking about today in the Washington State Natural. But if you guys have been following natural bodybuilding, you're probably aware of him. We've had him on before. We've talked about him specifically, the ANBF, his show, and probably highlighted you, I don't know how many times as an athlete as well. So if I can plug you any more, go check out Aaron's page, check out him as an athlete. And today, though, we'll be specifically talking about the promoting side of things, the business side of bodybuilding, and let you guys know what he's cooking up there over in Washington State. So, Aaron, welcome back to the podcast.
I really appreciate it. You guys have been just absolutely wonderful, and support you guys so much and everything you do for the sport. Growing natural bodybuilding has always been my goal, and seeing individuals like you who literally spend a full-time job plus some and going around the world and doing this thing is just wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun. It doesn't pay very well.
Natural bodybuilding is not the easiest career path, is it?
No, no, it isn't. But it is so enjoyable, and it gives us such a different perspective when we are able to travel, right? Because I mean, you've seen it. If you land in a great pocket of bodybuilding, that's cool, and you get to go to some good shows. But the talent pool, once you start really expanding your field, is immense. Um,
Yes.
and the culture of it too. Like every region has their own different culture for natural bodybuilding. So, which probably is a good segue directly into our topic, because the Pacific Northwest. I mean, from what we've seen, some really good talent coming out of there, kind of across all categories. So why don't we start with that, Aaron? Just talk through, because this is where you got your roots in bodybuilding. You've obviously promoted here. Talk through like natural bodybuilding in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it's extremely niche here. And so what we find is that we don't have as many competitors, and I think you touched on that last year coming out to the show, but we have a lot of quality competitors. And I believe that has a little bit to do with that. The majority of athletes here are not eligible to compete on our stage. So that becomes the status quo on how we got to look, how we got to perform on stage. So we end up having maybe a little smaller of a show, but it's stacked. Every class has quality that you could probably win a pro card elsewhere with, the third and fourth place competitor on these open stages. And that's what I've noticed amongst Pacific Northwest is that I came up just like they did on untested stages, and you were battling to try and get up there in the open and the overall as a drug-free competitor. Those athletes would either, get there, or they'd say, you know what, I don't want to go the enhanced route, so I'm going to quit. And I found it like kind of my responsibility to reach out to them and say, hey, we might be able to build a platform for you to continue progressing with like-minded individuals in a drug-free stage. And that is kind of how we started the promotional side of things. So it's always been a battle culturally to do this natural drug-free thing, having eligible competitors on stage. But somehow each and every year we end up with a show where the cream of the crop arrives, whether it be Eddie or Zeb and Zoo. We're talking world champion athletes here that come out of the area, and it blows my mind considering our population base, less than the East Coast, less than California, end up with such talent pools, like you said, amongst our community.
Yeah. And I wouldn't speak too lightly on like the numbers either, because I mean, yes, men's bodybuilding a little bit smaller than some places, men's physique, but you talk like women's figure, especially.
Yes.
I personally had two athletes in women's figure last year, and I mean, you might know the numbers better, but what, like 10 to 12 women, like
Yeah.
across figure and the other divisions that were, the more muscle divisions?
And that was a highlight year for sure for figure. We just ended up with so much quality there, and they were on stage forever. I mean, watching all these natural shows that sometimes we'll have like a pro class that's up there for, it feels like 20 minutes. And that became our amateur class this last year amongst those women because it was that hard to decide. And they really had to go through the rounds with those judges. And it was the cream of the crop, in my opinion, for last year's show. The figure division was something else, and I loved your commentary. I got to rewatch all of the live stream, and you were so complimentary on that quality that we'll be bringing that back again for sure this year because those athletes are hungry for this year's award.
Yeah, no, and it's fun to see that too. I love all the divisions equally. That's what I'll say, at least publicly. But to see some of the more muscular female divisions be represented so well is something that we just don't see that common. And I'm always harping on that with every single podcast I feel like we do. When you see high quality, in shape, muscular women, it's just like, yes, we've done it.
Hey, we came about the same way, my friend, because that was what I was surrounded with. And I think there's a lot of beauty and elegance to the female athletic side of these things that we don't get enough of nationwide. And we were spoiled the last few years with that. We've had some FemFit physique or women's physique classes that have also demonstrated really well. And some of these pro classes as well has just been phenomenal. Girls who have gone on to do really well, Orton Cup or Worlds or some of the national level shows, Mr. America, because they do push that limit. And having you guys broadcast that is just wonderful. I hope we can get more ladies on board to say, hey, look what's possible drug free.
Absolutely. And it seemed to me, at least with last year, and you can touch on this if this is historically accurate, that it's not just a locals only show, right? People
Oh
coming in
no.
from California,
this
lots of
this show has brought athletes from all over the world multiple times. We've had Europe and New Zealand and Asia, China. We've had teams from Canada. Like this year, we'll have another team from Canada coming down. It is not just hey, this is a Pacific Northwest event. It is encompassing great athletes from all over. The show's been going on now for 21 years. So if they've done it any year, I've had people reach out to me from India this week. It's like I have no idea sometimes how these athletes hear about the show, but they'll be like, hey, I'm going to get a visa. I'm going to be out there this show. I'd like to sign up for this category. And it's an honor to bring them in and to also have some of these local competitors be able to compete with athletes of that caliber from all over, because you just don't have that in any other show around here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives them a great first experience to know like you're no longer like the big fish in a small pond once you start competing with international athletes in your first couple shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I always like to see people battle it out and the opportunities that we provide in the ANBF with even the pro class of having athletes and pro divisions from every federation come in and battle it out instead of seeing the same faces and same names. Trying something new, going up against some new people. That's just wonderful to me. I want to continue that legacy.
Yeah. Well, let's take that conversation and open it up a little bit. So let's talk opportunities for athletes. Like you said, ANBF honors pro cards from any natural federation, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the only one in the Pacific Northwest doing it. And I just feel like natural bodybuilding is even bigger than the letters behind the name. If you are a good natural athlete, regardless of how you came up and about, we're inviting you into the show. We want you to battle it out with other like-minded athletes on a drug-free stage.
And for those that maybe haven't competed with the ANBF just yet, what further opportunities? Like, so they come, they have a great experience, they want to do something else with the ANBF. Like, what is kind of that next step for them?
Yeah, so there's multiple next steps. We have our pro shows. This is a pro am, so it is an opportunity to come back if you win a pro card. But if you want to go another level above, both the Mr. America Mark show is having the ANBF, be invited into those shows. If you win a pro card at our show, you do get invited to compete in the pros at the Mr. America, and then after that, the ANBF Monster Mash by Ryan Sullivan. That is the international show for us on the East Coast. There in Massachusetts. I competed at last year. We both had athletes there last year. Fabulous show. Ryan is the next gen of promoting, and it's an honor to have him, spearheading the federation on the digital side of things. So if you're looking for not just a show but an experience, this is movie making experience. The ANBF Monster Mash afterwards would be the pro show to finish out your year, and I had the opportunity to compete with 9 other Natty pros on that stage, which I'll tell you what, that's the most I've ever stood next to in any Fed, and that was just wonderful. I heavily recommend it if you want to continue progressing in the sport.
Yep. And then, obviously I'll plug it just because I'm tapped into that. The ANBF obviously has a relationship with the DFBA where there are
Yes.
as well, like internationally, less so right now, but more so to come in the future in the years to come as those relationships are grown and expanded on. So yeah, it's no longer, when I was first coming up, being on the East Coast, ANBF was kind of like the backyard bodybuilding, right? It was like
Yes.
Kent and his New Jersey guys, and like everyone loved him, everyone competed with him, but it's like, all right, we'll compete there and then we'll go here. But especially, as Ryan has come in, as you've come in, as some of these more well-established shows have like rebranded to the ANBF, it's gained some credibility for sure. And then now with the international affiliations and friendships that are there, I mean, there's opportunities literally across the entire world. So it really has opened the playing field a lot for athletes in the US.
Exactly. And that's the goal is that unlike other feds, we're just trying to say, hey, we're going to honor your natural status regardless of when you want it. We've had athletes reach out, won their pro card like 10 years ago. Like, hey, I got to requalify. It's like, nah, no, we're going to honor that. You once a pro, always a pro is the mentality with us. You deserve it. And if you want to, try to re-get it, it's a different boat these days. And I remember some of these feds like the NGA and some of the smaller ones around here win the pro card, like then you look at some of these athletes on even our amateur stage, you're like, maybe I'm gonna, retest my capability. If you want to do that, we give you the option. It's about the athlete, not about strict rules and regulations. We're gonna say, hey, what do you want to do? What makes it fun for you? That's what we're offering up on the stage.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's you can see that at being at the show last year, right? Like you definitely put the athletes first. And we could talk even like minute details that matter. Like Dan would have geeked out with your backstage pump up area. It's the first time I've seen like someone actually haul in like a pull up tower and
Yep.
weights. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's because the athletes told me that's what I want. It's like we can do that. Why not? I rent a one of those sprinter vans every year to shove it full of stuff, all the trophies, all the awards, the mats, the dumbbells. I can fit a pull-up tower in there. We got easy bars in there. We want you guys looking your best. That's the whole goal, is that what is going to make you bring your best look, and then you're going to be really proud of that look. That's what we're after.
yeah, I have yet to accomplish an amazing pump with just my light bands that I can fit.
Me too. I didn't build the physique off of that, and I don't think many of these athletes did. So, you guys looking for dumbbells, easy bars, pull-up tower dips? We got you covered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Full like actual pump up room, which I've seen other federations are starting to do now. Some of the
Yes.
bigger internationals have started saying like, "Hey, we have this affiliation with this company. Awesome, good.
Yeah.
That's what the sport needs, right?" I've never understood. I guess unless it's the venue saying it, like, "Oh, you can't have dumbbells, you can't bring weights." It's like, oh God.
There's some liability concerns. I understand some feds where someone got hurt and then they blame the federation instead of taking the responsibility, and they wanted to, I guess, circumvent that and say, yeah, let's not worry about it. You're not going to get hurt with a band. I'm sure you could if you tried, but at
Seen
the end
enough
of the day,
videos that went viral on, especially during COVID.
oh yeah, oh yeah, that was a rough year for all of us.
Yeah, people trying to like, heavy isometrics on their like training partner or their coach and all that fun stuff. It's like, oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah, let's go back to what works. Yeah, that's what we stand for sure.
Well, let's talk about like a day of venue, like what the athletes can actually expect with the Washington State.
So this year's show is September 12th. That's in Vancouver, Washington. If you are flying in, we have Portland International Airport just over the river. The goal is to make the venue, the hotel, everything really easy on the competitors. I've been there before. I've flown out to shows. I've definitely traveled with athletes to shows. Stress is inherently going to be higher if you're traveling, you're trying to time a look. And so we want to make it to where those things are definitely on the lower end. With the show, if you get to the Heathman Lodge, where it's located this year, beautiful venue, great hotel, amazing people. We do it all there. We have our check-in, we have our polygraph, we have your hotel room, we have the great room downstairs, the pump-ups right next door, the tanning's there. You really don't have to worry about anything. And then we do our after party right downstairs at the restaurant, and they do it kind of banquet style, where if you are one that's like, man, I want judges' critiques, but I got to travel here or wait there, like right after the show's done, we set up shop like it's a wedding. All the judges in a line, banquet hall. You're eating dinner, they're eating dinner. You're gonna walk up, talk to each of them for your judges' critiques, so you know what you got to work on for next time.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, that is massively important as either, a coach bringing athletes or an athlete being there, or even just like friends and family coming. Like you mentioned, the airport, for reference, I flew into that. It's like what, 15-minute drive, I think, to the Heathman Lodge.
Yeah, even less if there's no traffic. Yeah,
Yeah, it's super easy. I didn't do the driving myself, but someone drove.
yeah.
Like 15 minutes to get there. And then even around the lodge itself, if you forget something, I mean, I walked to the Target. There's restaurants that are even closer than the Target. Like you can get whatever you need if you've forgotten something right there, which is pretty important. Like the walkability of it all is massive because nobody wants to rent a car once you get there and like deal.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't need to rent a car for this. Yeah, I've had some people like, I'm gonna, just get an Uber. I'm like, that's easy. Like Uber drop off. From there, if you want groceries, it's a walk away. If you want to hit the restaurants up or get your post workout binge on, or post show binge on, you got lots of options. And we do provide lots of goodies. Last year we had Voodoo Donuts, who sponsored the show. For those who've heard of them but never had them before, we gave out gift cards. We gave out team awards. We had a push-up challenge for our audience members up there. We gave out a dragon sword for that. We give out monetary payments for all of our pro winners. These are all things that we've been told we want to see at shows. Everything from a live stream, you guys narrating it, to VIP tickets, to a show that starts on time and ends on time. All those things for me as a Marine are like really important. We do the live national anthem. We do the color guard with the military there. Those are ways to, how we're brought up. And when I heard of Kent and how he stood for natural bodybuilding, I'm like, we are so like-minded on how we do these things. I want to continue with you guys in the legacy of Kevin and Linda James and how they brought me up with Washington State Natural.
Yeah. And off camera, I mean, there's a lot of history with Kevin and Linda. Some that I didn't necessarily know till I went last year and started being around a little bit. But I heard that you told us, off camera there that there will be a return, right?
Yes, yes. So Kevin James will be flying out. So it'll be his first time back out since I took the show over 2022, and he's going to be our head judge this year. So for those of whom that know Kevin, those Pacific Northwest, those have been in the natural bodybuilding game for some time. They'll know who Kevin is, and he is so excited to come back, head judge this show, say hi to a lot of old friends. Linda is, I guess, right now about 60%. So she came out last year, represented for him. She is likely, but not for sure yet. But we're doing our darndest to try to see if we can get them both out this year. So come say hi, come enjoy the show for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of building on the success of last year, because last year was an anniversary year, correct?
Yes, 20th anniversary last year. Yeah.
So I'm assuming, right, you can't just like go out with a bang on the 20th and then fizzle after. What is there any changes for this upcoming year? Anything additional that you're kind of like building out, or feedback that you got last year that you're taking into this year?
Yeah, so a couple things. One, I know the pros deserve, just as good of a trophy as the amateurs. So we did construct a brand new trophy this year, going all out on it. A lot of questions. We have some distributors overseas, and we're just trying to find something that would fit the show. So this year's trophy, we're going all out for. If you guys are looking for something super cool, this is this year's trophy, and we're going to be making about 15 of these. So last year we awarded 10 pro cards with our overall award. And then our pro winners actually had dragon swords. But this year, everyone's going to get one of these, all right, regardless of which division you won or what pro class you won. And then in the back, there's actually a holder back here. And we're going to be having our supplement companies put some special supplements back here as well. That way, you guys we're getting it all. We're hooking you up with this show, making sure that you're taken care of, and you have something to brag about for the rest of your years.
That is definitely a unique trophy. And I can only imagine the conversations for people flying, like PSA.
In their lap. Yeah, it's just pretty large.
Don't ask questions. It's fine. Let it go.
we did have one of our Canadian pro athletes reach out, and they're like, I don't care what they tell me at the airport. I'm going to have that in my lap if I get that thing to go home with. They're really excited about it.
Yeah. I'm sure the swords are a whole different conversation as well. It's like,
yeah, that one usually you have to ship. I've shipped so many swords after the show because they're like, look, I can't bring that on the airplane. So I've had to go over to FedEx and send them over to some of our new winners before. And this way, there's no security threats.
Yeah. Just a large blunt object, Yeah, that was recently going through my head with the travel I've had. It's like, oh man, the stress sometimes of like, all right, did I forget to take this bottle out? Did I empty this? Did I do that? Like, yeah, a sword is a whole different level
Oh
of.
yeah, yeah. They're probably not going to let that fly. So you gotta pack it up, go to the system to mail it over, and we don't want to cost you guys more money. So this is a great one to kind of meet you in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fun one for sure. So more trophies. Obviously, like you hinted, Dan and I will actually be in attendance doing the live commentary, which is always fun. We've gotten some great feedback from that, but truly, our purpose is to kind of complement what you guys are doing on the stage. For those that haven't listened to it, it's it's education. Right? Like a little bit of entertainment, but there's so much that goes on with the judging that I don't think people realize unless you've
Right.
been to these shows, seen these shows, been around for a long period of time. And we're not experts, but we've done it enough to know, like, all right, I think the judge is doing this because of that. They're looking for this in this category, especially with this federation. And that's some of that insight that if you haven't watched a show, if you haven't been to a show, and if you are in the Pacific Northwest, I'll tell you go to the show because it's better in person than live commentary. But like those are some of the things that until you've been in it, competed, or been like seen a show, you just won't know.
Correct, correct. And I was there at Miss America last year, and Dan was doing his commentary, and I got the opportunity. My wife was watching the live stream, so she was sending me the clips by email afterwards. So it's super helpful. And you actually might hear something from Dan or yourself that you didn't even acknowledge or recognize, that no one told you. You didn't have a coach, or you just have friends and family in the audience that actually can help you as well. So for those of whom that are looking forward to competing at a show, having a live stream where maybe they're traveling and they want their friends and family to watch the show, we do provide that opportunity, and you can learn something in the process with you guys present.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, view it like you said, it's almost like another set of judges' feedback. It's just from guys that are probably bantering along the way as well. So
It'll be nice because you get a breather this time. I think you were down there for about 8 or 9 hours straight last year.
I was highly caffeinated, that's for sure.
I think I got you a Voodoo Donut ticket to try and get some more energy in too.
Yeah. And of course I was coaching athletes as well. So I was trying to like move the mic away. I had Lauren like in my ear, like, what do you need this person to do? And I'm like, oh God, like dictating while commentating. But yeah, it was fun. It was worth it. And the whole atmosphere of it was just like, we're here, we're having a good time. I'm doing my thing. That they're up there. I'm right next to the judges. So I was like kind of bantering with the judges a couple times. But yeah, it's always a fun experience. And I think some of our favorite clips, like us as Natty News Daily, have been people have recorded and sent them back to us. And it's them up on stage doing their posing routine, and it's me and Dan or Leroy just like bickering back and forth about something silly. And it's like, oh gosh, like
Hey, if no one has seen shows like this before, it's definitely not boring. So we try to keep it entertaining for the audience the whole time. It's important to me as a promoter not to have that audience leave. I like to fill it up completely. You can ask anyone who was at the show this last year. It was loud. It was energetic. There are people everywhere. We have all the booths in the back, so they get to watch the show and sell the food and the clothing, the merchandise, the supplements back there, and anything you need, I'm here for it. So I don't want people to think that the show is for me or the show is for the federation. No, the show is for you. What is going to make it a better experience? And you want to be a natural bodybuilder in the Pacific Northwest. This is the show you need to be at if you want to stand next to lots of competition and see where you stand.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll touch on the atmosphere too, because the Heathman Lodge, where you guys do like the actual room of it, is not the largest room ever.
No,
But I think that plays to the advantage of having this very intimate type show, right? Like everyone's close. It's not crowded, but
no.
it definitely feels full, and there's good acoustics, and like when the crowd gets into it, it is loud. It's
It's
very
loud.
loud.
Yeah, and that's nothing's worse as a competitor on stage when it's like you can hear a dime drop. You want to hear the audience cheering you on, and you're going to get that at the show this year.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been in venues where it's a massive theater and there's 30, 40 people in the crowd, and it just seems like, oh, what are we doing here,
Yeah,
people?
what are we doing here? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
We
can
want to
focus
where
if
it's
you want.
it's feeling energetic, and you guys are better because of it. And that's super important to me. We've been through many venues. This is one of our favorites because of how the Heathman Lodge treats its athletes, treats us, and the fact that you guys aren't stressed. You feel comfortable. you're on time, we're not missing an athlete, because worst case scenario, we go knock on your door upstairs. Hey, you're up in 5 minutes. That way we can ensure everybody's present.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, restaurant on the premises. There is a gym there as well. Your typical hotel gym,
Yeah.
cable, dumbbells, all that stuff. If you need to get a pump there the night before,
Yeah.
uh, it really is. You kind of said it. The one-stop shop for everything. Everything's there. Once you're there, you're there. You don't have to stress about anything.
Yeah, if you show up early, some of our out-of-state competitors do fly in early Wednesday, Thursday. We run polygraphs from Wednesdays all the way to Friday. That way you can knock that out, call it good. There is a local gym that the Heathman Lodge does give a free day pass for if you want to go, get a good workout in at another facility than the hotel gym. The goal is to make it to where if there's a concern or complaint, we address it. Everything's on our website at freedomshows.com. Your registration, polygraph, hair and makeup. Everything's ready to be scheduled presently at 20 weeks out. And then the ANBF Natural website will take care of you on the registration for the Fed, where you can compete for another year with any of our shows. All those remaining shows after our show this year will be on the East Coast. So if you're looking to continue it, we have some East Coast competitors already signed up. You'll want to head on over to Monster Mash, Mr. America, and some Kent's shows over there, because you're going to continue being treated well.
Absolutely. Which gym is it that has the relationship? Because I think I'd
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So there's a 24-hour fitness at the mall over there. That's the one that they utilize. I've worked out there plenty of times. And it's a full membership gym. All the goodies that you need.
Had I seen, or am I misspeaking, that maybe like Julian's gym close by is doing like a sponsorship as well, right?
Yeah. So Julian's been affiliated with us since, goodness, we all came up together. So Arms Race Gym is in Portland. It's a little further away. So if you go down to Aloha, Oregon, which is going to be kind of westbound of Portland, you can make it out to his if you want to take a drive. He is such a cool gym, and I support him so much because he's done so much for the sport over the years, and his passion has remained. I've seen people come and go in the sport, as you guys have, but those who have been at it for a decade or two, I always applaud that. You know what? That passion is there to stay. It's a lifetime endeavor for you. I definitely like to stay associated with those individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. And an Arms Race Gym is a gym that I think some people probably know by name, even if they haven't been out there.
Yes.
He's obviously well known. His gym's well known. So yeah, might be a little detour for me and Dan on the way in or the way out.
Oh, absolutely. You should hit it up. Julian will probably be there again this year. I keep trying to get him on stage. And then, he was the coach of last year's overall bodybuilding championship, Kieran Sandben, who got second to Robert Orion Sykes a few years prior to that. And that was a heck of a battle. There's like 13 of them in the lightweight open class. They're up there for 30 minutes. And Kieran ended up at his first show getting second. Talk about talent. And then to come back this year and just bring the heat, win it all, take home the overall over some really amazing athletes. We awarded 2 pro cards actually for our pro men open bodybuilding and 2 for a classic physique bodybuilding, because there's enough competitors to do so. So if anyone out there is like, man, I'm looking for a show with enough athletes to qualify for a pro card, look no further. We gave out 1 for every division and 2 for 2 divisions last year. We also gave out 3 pro cards for the Masters division. So if you're looking for that level, this show is the one for you.
Yeah. And not an easy pro card either. I mean, Kieran beat Daniel, but Daniel is Eddie's brother. Daniel's son.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
there's some genetics on that family side, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
And then Eddie's wife also competed in the figure pro class. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some good genetics there for sure. But yeah,
absolutely.
Those guys. And I was hoping, I don't know if I said it on the commentary, but it's like, man, they both deserve this pro card. And I was happy to see, based on the numbers, but also based on the quality that decision last year, because we've seen it sometimes where it's like, this guy could go onto a pro show like tomorrow morning. Yes, he lost, but both of these guys should be pros. Just let it happen.
Yeah, that overall was really good between Daniel and Kieran. And I do believe Kieran won soundly. He was in shape, a little bit more muscle, a little bit more maturity. But Daniel improved so much from his previous showing 4 years prior. At our show, he ended up in the top 3. And then he's just head down, grinded that family knows work ethic. They are so committed. I applaud that. I couldn't stop telling them, like, look at you guys' family. Like, how many more of you are there? Are we going to continue seeing, some of these athletes show up because they definitely are focused and will continue to do well in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was seeing Eddie that early in the season already in that shape. Like as soon as he stepped on stage, just game over. Like this guy's got.
That pro class wasn't bad. So he was just at that level. And if anyone follows Eddie, his trajectory last 8 years has been pretty evident. He doesn't get on stage unless he's better, and it showed once again. On top of that, he kind of won everything after that show he participated, as well as the World Championships. So, we've been able to say, hey, the Pacific Northwest has a lot of World Championships that come through our door initially, and we want to continue that legacy this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think honestly, because I want to be respectful of your time and I want to open it up to Dan, make sure we didn't skip over anything there. But
yeah,
honestly,
where's Dan at? We want to talk to Dan
too. He's there. He's hiding. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Podcast ain't about me though.
I know he's not along this whole time. He'll be more active once we caffeinate him up for the live stream. But no, I was just gonna say I think that's a perfect way, honestly, to wrap it. I didn't want to be like too short, but yeah, like the quality of athletes is there, the numbers are there. It's a time tested show. It's a repeat of the venue, so there's no surprises there. Like it was well run, on time. It's something like there's some shows I don't really send athletes to, not that my word is the end all be all, but I would feel very comfortable encouraging friends and my own athletes go to this show. You know what you're going to expect. It's going to be a quality show. You're just not going to have 200 athletes, but good luck finding that in the US anyway. Right?
Yes, it is tough to get to those old numbers from yesteryear. But if they're showing up at the show, they're ready. You're going to see that they're ready and get ready to stay on stage for a while. We're not here to rush you through the door. Even if your class has only 5 people in it, we're going to make sure you're compared with everybody and you get your licks in, because the last thing you want is to be like, man, I wasn't proven and I didn't quite hit the mark. No, we're going to ensure that you get your time on stage.
Mhm. And the timing of it in the calendar works very well to kind of kickstart. It's not a warm-up show. You don't want to come in like that because you won't place well. But, come in pretty well dialed in and it kicks off what could be a very successful season like we saw with Eddie and many other athletes last year.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you guys are looking to do some October shows, November shows, hit this up beforehand. It's going to definitely get your wheels churning. It'll let you know where you stand for the upcoming months.
And
what is the exact date of that show for those who are listening?
Yeah, so September 12th will be this year's event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so smack dab in the middle, and then just a couple more weeks until things kick off. Mr. America October, it's probably like 4 weeks after, and then some of the other big shows maybe 6 weeks after. So really not that big of a stretch to refine
not at all.
Feedback.
Not at all. And there's no other show in the Pacific Northwest inviting all these natties from all organizations in. So this is your, if you're in the area or even remotely in the area, whether you're from Canada, Northern Cali, Nevada, Idaho, we have athletes who are coming in to battle it out, and they've been here before. So we usually tell people the winner of these shows has usually placed second or third a couple times before they finally break through and win it all. Robert Orion Sykes was a great example of that. He had competed and kept missing that overall until he came back and took it down. Those are the athletes that, as a judge, as someone who follows natural bodybuilding, we applaud the most. The consistency of you continuing to progress is the nature of the sport, and we want to applaud that and recognize it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to see that, especially some of those guys that they're already such phenomenal athletes, and you have to question like, well, how can they improve? And then they come back in 2-3 years and it's like, that's how they did it.
Eddie's a great example of that. How do you get even better? And then here he comes, Yeah. So if you guys are looking for a show just to come watch to learn about natural bodybuilding, ticket sales go live tomorrow. That's freedomshows.com, general admission, VIP tickets. VIP is limited as our sponsors have priority there, but we do have roughly around 20 VIP tickets up for each and every person to grab starting tomorrow. And then the ANBF Natural website. Check out everything we have to offer. We do offer wellness, classic physique, FemFit physique. If there is a category you're looking for, we got one for you, including our transformation category, which is just wonderful. This is a category that's not a sanctioned category, but if you've been through some struggles, a lot of fat loss, if you've been through some difficulty, we want to hear your story and recognize you on that stage. So the transformation category is Linda James's favorite, and we give a really big gift basket for the winner of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was some really, really inspiring stories from that division last year. And also just some good physiques, right? Like you hear these stories, you hear the things that people have gone through, and then they're also competing in other divisions as well because they can cross over. And it's like, yeah, this is, you fit, right?
Yeah. Yep. And male, female, older, younger. We just want to hear your story. If you've been through it, you're going to place really well there because it's a story of difficulty on that stage. You never know what these athletes on stage have been through, but you do in that class. So if you're like, hey, I went through something, want to share it. We've had cancer survivors, domestic abuse, drug addiction. We've had people whose feet have been ran over and they got on stage. So it's like, if you've experienced that, you're like, I'm not going to be quite competitive in the other categories. We do provide that. It's almost a full class already at 20 weeks out. So we're going to have a lot of athletes and a lot of stories this year to share.
Yeah, and that's something that I think the sport needs to highlight more because, yeah, I think everyone goes through something, obviously some more than others, and you don't really hear those stories unless there is a class like this.
Right.
And I think in some federations it's a little bit frowned upon. It's kind of, oh, it degrades the integrity of the sport, but not really. I mean, this is what builds the sport. If you start really highlighting, that's why we do what we do. We highlight the athletes. We try and cover their stories, but yeah, when it's seen at the show, I think it has such a more impact.
It absolutely does. We do have some TVs on the side of the stage in which we're going to this year show your before photo, and you get to walk out to the after product for this year's show. So if that sounds like something cool to you, please sign up, check out our transformation category. If you're only doing the transformation category, we do not require you to polygraph because it's not a sanctioned class. So it saves you a little bit of money, gets you on stage locally, shares your story.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you said freedomshows.com is the place to register.
Yep, everything's live, everything's ready to go. And the classes are filling up. So please join us this year. Tickets will go live on the main website tomorrow.
And if people want to ask you specifically questions about the show, about the organization, anything like that, what's the best way for them to contact you?
You can either go to the website and email me directly, aaron@genuinefitnesstraining.com, or you can go to our Instagram, Washington State Natural, and you can shoot us a DM, whatever works better for you.
Yeah. A lot of people like the DMs. Very nice.
They do, yeah. That culture has changed from when we started, but that's okay. We're here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Aaron, we appreciate your time. We appreciate what you guys are doing over there, and we look forward to seeing you here in 20 weeks or so.
20 weeks. Here we go. 19 weeks and 2 days now. So who's counting?
But yes, because who's counting? Not us. You are. All
All right, guys. Thank you so much. If you want one of these, come join us this year. Can't wait to have you.
Absolutely. We can't wait to be there. And we hope to see or hear some of the viewers, maybe they've heard this interview, maybe we've changed their opinion. And if you guys like this episode, obviously give Aaron a follow, give Washington State Natural a follow, give Natty News Daily a follow if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, all the fun stuff that we're supposed to say on these podcasts. And I will see you guys in the next one.